Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it.
Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
Abela lo kan yo. Ka go so ju lo. Hey. Awaye. Ati o lo a. Ìyàwó Abela lo kan yo. Níbi tó jọba yìí. Níbi tó yànba. Máa ti sì mọ̀ pé yo. Máa jẹ́ jíjí. Wọ́n pe ìṣàmẹ́ fọ́ sí o. Títí kọ́lẹ́. Animateur Choco Noska Yasen de Toyebi. L'homme a tout fait pour Mivito. Aniche les deux.
Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
Good evening, folks. Samson to Liberia Radio. I want to welcome all of you again. It's a wonderful, wonderful time. Thank God. God has given us another day. Bless us with another day. That's wonderful. Thank you, Jesus. Again, we want to thank all of you that are tuning in to Liberian Public Radio. Please share this video. Share it to as many people as you can. And we'd like for this video to be shared to as many people as possible. And we really, really appreciate you tuning in. Not that you don't have anything to do, but the fact that you're turning to us here is a sign of respect, and we appreciate it. Thank you. Safety, Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again this evening. We want to thank you because of you we are here. You're giving us another beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you. My Lord, we ask you to continue to do it for us. My Lord, we want to thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your blessing. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for your protection. Thank you. Think about it. Every day you get in the street driving. You don't know who's on the other side driving towards you. But God is there. God is guiding you. You're driving on the highway, doing 60, 65, 30 miles, 45, 50 miles, 70 miles an hour. Yet still, God is guiding you. Thank you, my Lord. Oh, things you do for us. You take a cup of water to drink, and you drink it finally. Nothing. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. You go to sleep, and you get up the next day. Jesus, thank you. Thank you. You're walking from your house outside, back home. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. You get up in the morning and go to work and come back home, talk to your family. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the protection. Thank you. Who can do it for us? No one else but you. Thank you. We will stay here every time we come up. We will praise you. We're not embarrassed of praising you because without you, we won't be here. Because of you, we are here. And we say thank you. Thank you. My Lord, we thank you for this wonderful, wonderful time that you continue to give us. We appreciate it. My Lord, we ask you to forgive us. Whatever thing we do that is wrong, we ask for your forgiveness. And we also forgive those who have done wrong to us as well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you. No man, nobody out there that can do what you do for us. Thank you for the blessing to the Republic of Liberia. Thank you for the blessing for the people of the Republic of Liberia. Thank you for the blessing for the leadership of the Republic of Liberia. We ask you to continue to bless the leadership of Liberia. Give them strength to do what is good for our people. Bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So, folks, let's go ahead. The president, while we were at work today, the president was busy giving his State of the Union address. And we're just going to read a little bit of it tonight. We would dissect it more, but tonight we'll just do a little bit of that because it's very important that we do these things because the president has done his job and it is left with us to say, yes, we appreciate you. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very much. Everything you do is for us and we appreciate it. We appreciate it. We will come out here if we see something that we ourselves are not happy with, we'll express that. We'll tell them. We're not going to hide anything. But if the president is doing something that is wonderful, we will say so. We will say so. Mr. Samson, Elijah Samson, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it, sir. Thank you very much. As a rule, thank you guys very much for joining. Not that you don't have anything to do, but the fact that you're tuning into us is a sign of respect, and we appreciate that. And thank you very much for your continued support, my brothers. But let's go on. So the president gave his inaugural address today, and I will just go to the last part. He said, and I want you to, as I'm going to be going back to start reading from the top, I want you to take this thing into consideration. This is what he stated. The state of our nation is in distress. Now, those of us that have done engineering, the concrete design, concrete loading, steel design, steel loading. So when, in my mind, when somebody says this is a distressful situation, it's bad. That means there are little fractures all over the place. It has not come to the elastic condition yet, but it's getting there. And once it passes a fracture condition, it goes to elastic, and you have a problem. So when the word, such word as the word of to say this is a stressful, a stress condition, that's something that we take very seriously. So let me go back there again. He said, the state of our nation is in distress, but the hope of our people is alive. So let's take those two comparisons. He's telling you the state of the nation is a very stressful situation. So immediately, as a medical doctor, in terms of the economy, in terms of the leadership, in terms of anything, I call him medical doctor. Who am I to say? I say medical doctor, but no, on a very serious. So the fact that he recognized the state of the nation, but he's saying to you, please, my brothers and sisters, please, my sons and daughters, my sisters, don't worry. Don't worry. The Liberian people have this under control. The hope, which is the backbone of anything as far as I'm concerned, the hope of our people is alive. So the law, and you know, when people say you can't carry a kinja, they say I can carry. When you go to Kopamla, let me put it that way tonight. When you go to Kopamla, those of you that don't live in the country, I feel bad for you tonight. if when you go up in the countryside, you cut palm nut, you put that palm nut in the Kenya, you tie the Kenya, then you take it. Some people put it on their back, some people put it on their head, but the Kenya is heavy. And then you say, I can carry it. When you start carrying it, you know what? You know what? How come you still carrying it? It's your strength and your mindset that yes, indeed, Samson told, I'm Brown Sultan. I'm not going to, the son of Brown Stone, I'm not going to drop the Kenya. I will take it. And you take it. You going like that. The Kenya, you and the Kenya. When you're going downhill, you going like that. The Kenya going like that. You going like that everywhere. But yes, still, you say you're taking the Kenya. And when you get to the house, boom, you don't take the Kenya and put it down. You go like this. Boom. President Baka is telling us the Kenya of this country is in distress. But the hope of our people is alive. We have it all to overcome the burden we have imposed on ourselves through greed and corruption. We have all to take over the burden we have imposed on ourselves through greed and corruption. He didn't take himself out of it. He's also taking full responsibility. All of us. When we work together, there is nothing we cannot overcome as a people. This is why I ask you, the representatives of our people, to join me to do the business of the Liberian people, but not doing business as usual. Let's go. That is the state of the nation. The president told us this. Okay, let's go. I don't want to do the video and all that kind of stuff. I like when I like with my total way, I read my own. Even if I can read, say, no matter, I read a little bit. Those of you that know book, like they like, I say, good book man, big time book man. I say, when I see that, I'm scared. Book people. So when I come to read, I be scared. I be speaking my total English. But let's go on. Let's go on. He said, our visions are revealed in the rest, meaning agriculture, rule of law, education, sanitation, tourism, shall guide the preparation of the new Mandela term National Development Plan for the welfare of our people. We must harness opportunities in agriculture, road, and other infrastructure development, improve the rule of law, rethink the education sector, improve sanitation, and unlock the potential of tourism. We believe that the creating economic linkage between these development facts and reinforce them will help revise years of economic downturn. The state of the economy is a cause for concern. With many of our citizens facing parental unemployment and economic instability, we must not just recognize the pain and frustration that are parent in our society, but also work together to introduce and pass legislation that will prioritize economic reform that foster sustainable economic growth and job creation. I told you I'm a total man, I can't read. So I don't want to read the whole thing. Okay. I don't want to read the whole thing. I will just read a little bit. Because first of all, I can't read. The first thing. The second thing, I want to just point out a few of the stuff. Okay. There are so much thing to take out of here. There's some dispute. The former president made a remark the last time, so I'm not going to go into all of those things. Okay. So I will pass over agriculture, legislature agenda. I'll pass over all of those things, and I will just go to a few other things. Then I can come out to talk my tabata. Okay. The other one I want to talk about here. Rural infrastructure development. That's my interest. Expanding and improving the road network in our country remains a top priority for my administration. While there has been some progress in the road and transport sector during the review period, there remain considerable challenges in the road development. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining. We appreciate it. Please share this video as much as you can. Please share the video as much as you can. The English one give me a hard time tonight. Kwiru, kinda. Because saying you go name and I say you go. I want number one in a Kwiru. You said Kwiru poor map, you poor. I want number one more in there. What wrong with y'all? Folks, give me a minute here. Give me a minute. Okay, we're back. We're back again. Thank you. Thank you. I can go anyway. If the English won't give me a hard time, I'll switch to Crown. Well, big here. As long as I understand myself, I enjoy myself, that will count. But I want to very serious note. Says original, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Appreciate all of you guys turning in. The Kwiru, you go on a map, Lilupo. So more ready, go great. Kwiru saying, yeah, tell you la. Kwiru Jaha and Tanyan and Bob Lue. Say, Kwiru has a quiet on one. So, anyway, let's go ahead. So, no, on a very serious note, So, the president had a wonderful speaking of nation address here tonight. It was wonderful. First thing people will say, but you should be thankful that he even went through all of that. Of course. But he was very serious. And some of the things that he point out in his inaugural address that I thought was very interesting was the fact that he was very clear in things he wanted to be done. He even brought about the road and not get stuck in 100-day business. But we're waiting to see that. My concern, as far as I'm concerned, the concern that I have is this. The president, with his appointments and all of those things, are these people quite ready to carry out the president's agenda? Because he can't do it by himself. This, for me, was the major failure of the past administration. People will come and lie to you, but we will be on this platform. Those who are unable to carry out the president's agenda. 2017 during the election, when they had that debate, President Baka said, rolls. He continued to emphasize and he continued to preach roll. Samson told no about roll. If I see you, I supported this man. If I see you lie to the man about roll business, I will bust your secret. If I'm doing you're change my name. If I do it, and then say to Obisa, if I see you lying to the old man, I will bust your secret one by one. But anyhow, let's go a little bit. So he said, this is very interesting, that he intend to have those roads. People should be able to drive through them. I mean, the Southeast Road, No more mud should be happening. And the other roads that have places like Lofa Road, people should not get stuck in the mud. And most likely not going to happen in 100 days, that I know. But the fact that he keep emphasizing that, I, Samson, will now offer my sincere help. I'm not going to call anybody. I'm not calling anybody. I'm not even asking who to help. I will do it from this platform here. The road from Ganta all the way to Fishtown. You can do your stuff from Google Earth and be able to, you don't have to have surveyor over there to do it. And you will see. Mr. So, as you were on here the other day, he said, I said, CEO, he said, yeah, you can do it. But guess what? You have to be illustrative. If it's not, he come to come throw me out again. He been threatening me. Because he said, what I'm going to do, if it's not illustrative, I don't show you, he will block me, and then I'll be fired. So I got to do it well. I got to do it good. But the main thing here is this. Folks, those of you that are analysts, the list is, the information is out there. So I expect people to join me. I'm make sure not going to 15 minutes. I expect people to join me if you can. But let's go on. Let's go on. Let me take this thing serious a little bit. So President Bakai, having had that kinds of information that I have here now that I can read, I think the inaugural address is done. The agenda that he's setting, those are just, that, for me, the inaugural address is just a way of saying, showing blueprint. But there was not much of a blueprint here tonight. And maybe they will set it later. So he just set in the groundwork. But in terms of a real layout, there was no meat to this bone tonight. He put a little meat on it, but not much. But I'm okay. He's just showing you the skeleton part of it. That now they're going to go back and hopefully address the skeleton and to look like a real blueprint. So that we will work with. So my area, I hope every one of us that have these different expertise in these different areas will pick this area out and try to concentrate on it, so that not necessarily to criticize, but if the people are not doing the work correctly, you can point it out to say this is not supposed to be done. And if you do this, if you don't do it right, you will find this situation to be a headache in the near future. Now, the reason why I'm going to be talking more about the road business, because that's an expensive proposition. The road are very expensive. They are not, in fact, in Liberia, they believe, and I debunked them here the last time, they believe that it takes $1 million to do a mile, 5,280 feet, which is a mile. But they believe that, which is not the case. It's not necessarily the case, because unless you're building Swiss watch, and nobody in Liberia, nobody in Africa wants Swiss watch type of road anyhow. So you have, why would you have somebody to say I'm building the road for $1 million, 5,280 feet, okay? 5,280 feet. Why would you build that on the soil, the base of the soil in Liberia? You can turn that base on and go down to the base and drive on it. That's what the people used to drive on before. They never used quota for years, 20, 30, 40 years. They never used asphalt. They used clay mixed with dirt, and it was durable. So if you have that kind of strength of a soil, why would you say you want to build a road for $1 million? You know how much $1 million is? $1 million road. So, but that's a different issue. That's a different issue. Those are the kinds of stuff that I'm going to be paying attention to here on this platform. Another thing that I'm going to be paying attention to is those who are involved in the appointment process. It's none of my business. Like I said, I don't know them. I don't know Ambassador Bakai. He didn't even know who I am anyway. He doesn't know me. He doesn't know where I come from. He don't even know that I exist in Liberia. That's the first thing. Okay. I don't know people in the government. I only know one, Sir Johnny, and maybe Anthony Cassidy. That's it. No one else. Nobody else. So there's nothing to say I'm doing it because somebody I know they will know me. No. The people that I know, they don't know who I am anyway. So I'm not saying it because I know people. But let's be truthful. Let's be truthful. So the issue for me is this. It's my country. Things must be done correctly. We have to do these things correctly. We cannot just expect one person to do it the way they think they want to do it. So the Minister of Public Works is supposed to be appearing tomorrow on Spoon, by the way. And some of the things, because it's Spoon, they're not, it's a technical conversation tomorrow. It has nothing to do with foreign policy. It has nothing to do with monetary business. So it's about a technical section. And I don't see anybody over there that have the technical knowledge to be able to question this public works minister that coming tomorrow. So most likely they're going to be talking about money and contracts and what have you. But that's not going to be my interest. I will be looking, I'll be listening, and hopefully he will slip. And I don't hope for him to slip. That's not the point. But when I mean he will slip, he will come out just like a buddy, Judy Moore did, telling the Liberian legislature he loved concrete road because concrete love water. Those are the kinds of language that I'll be looking for tomorrow from this guy. And I'm sure he will come. He's an accountant. He's not an engineer. So what were you expecting to talk about tomorrow? Most likely he will talk about the management side of this stuff. Now, the management side of public work is what got us in this problem. Because public work, the way I see public work, is a glamorized project management bureau. It is not where you go and do road work. Because in order for you to know how the road is to be built, you must know how to design it. You must know all of the criteria involved in the design. For example, you put pipe under the road. What is the cover? How thick the cover supposed to be based on international standard? He doesn't know that. If you ask, one of the things I hope they will ask, what is the right of way from this side to this side the one government has? How much is it? Is it 170 feet? Is it 200 feet? I hope they're asking those kind of questions. Another thing I will hope that they were asking, why is it Liberia that is coming from civil war, why do we not have ADA ramp, which is the handicap ramp for them to run their wheelchair? You don't have that in Monterey. Another thing, because he's not just coming to public work though. So don't tell me he's new. This guy has served public work before, Deputy Minister, Road Development in Public Work, under Madam Sally. So he's not coming as new person. So don't give me that new stuff. So those are the things that I'm hoping that this man will be able to address some of those issues tomorrow. What will he do if somebody have a building built in the right of way, squatting over the drainage system? What are some of the things that he would do to address those things? How does he intend to impact the Liberian engineers? Because Liberia, we have and I'm working on it to make sure that I bring the Liberian Engineer Society president on my show, and I will also bring other French engineers on my show as well. But what is his working relationship with the Liberian Engineer Society? Because the last time I was there, I attended the Liberian Engineer Society, he was not there. But he's going to be a minister of public work. That's fine. So the point that I'm trying to make, I have nothing. I don't know him. He doesn't even know me. Okay? And there's nothing the guy that I want. So it's not like to say I'm jealous or anything like that. But I want things to be done correctly. Let's look at some of the road that was built on this guy when he was Deputy Minister of Public Work for Road Development. Let's look at some of the road. There's a road that was built in Nima County. So dirt road. But they put a bridge on there on his watch. Another friend of mine, they call him Jackson Pay. It's a friend. He used to be, he's older than me, but he's still a friend. He used to be at the barracks. He one of those army engineer. He's a good engineer. But anyhow, Jackson was honored, I believe he was honored him as an assistant minister. But they built a bridge. When they built a bridge, when I talked, actually I brought it up. We just laughed about it. But they built a bridge. And they decided to put a bridge in a curve. That's how lazy they were, because they have no clue on the design. They built a bridge, and you can put a bridge in a curve. No question. I'm not questioning that. But anytime you introduce a curve in a road, you also have to introduce super elevation. And the bridge is flat. I'm not concerned about it being flat. That's fine. But when you introduce a curve, you have to introduce, Mr. So say I shouldn't be doing my goat finger like this here anymore. That's fine. But if you introduce a curve, you have to introduce super elevation. And so when I went to the ministry about 2 years or so ago, I brought that up. Of course, this guy wasn't there anymore. So the new guy said, Mr. To, that's a long time ago. We don't deal with that anymore. I said, okay. So I brought in their drawing, their drainage drawing thing. I said, what is this? They have a row. You see, this. You see, those are kind of stuff. I'm hoping this guy will address these things. Because if you do these things, then you are not sincere. When you get in your street, when you have a street that got up over it like this here, what street that does this? Half a curve. What street? Because here's the thing, the street goes straight like that, right? And it goes up. Well, they have a slip on it, but it's 2%. You can hardly see it. But they build a road with a curve. And and maybe that's one of the reasons why these things are $1 million or so. But let me move on. So those are the kinds of stuff that I'm hoping to be able to hear from this guy tomorrow, hopefully. But I don't think he will go that far. They were not asking technical questions, because most likely they will just go into monetary and management process and things like that, which is not going to help you. You got East International that is building the Ralphie Highway, that is a mess. How does he intend to address that? How does he intend to address that? So let's forget about that guy. Let me go on to the next appointment. Ambassador Baka appointed a guy who is just a minister. Just a minister, according to what I've been reading. And I told you guys here the last time that from all indication, all articles that I've been reading have accused him of corrupt behavior. In fact, according to one of the articles, he was even punished and asked to repay people money back. The new justice minister was asked to pay people money back. And here's the interesting thing, according to the article, I believe it's on Front Page Africa, that these people, these lawyers, the company, they wrote Ambassador Baka to say, don't appoint this guy. This guy does not have a good record to be Minister of Justice. Apparently, they didn't listen to those people. So those are the kinds of stuff that we're hoping to see. Why is it that these things are happening in the great country of Liberia? But we're watching. The fact that we support it and continue to support Ambassador Baka's agenda does not mean that if we see something that is not right, that we will not talk about it. We will speak about it. So there's nothing here to stop us. So what I'm not going to do is to speak about something in an area that I'm not quite versed. So I don't want to fool anybody here to come here and say I'm going to talk about the money issue, because I'm not an accountant. Why would I want to talk about money business? The only money business I want to talk about is I just got paid. No, forget it. I'm just kidding. But anyhow, let's go on a very serious note. The president spoke for, let me take it serious and see if I can even read his. Now that I've introduced myself, let me see now if I can read his president's speech on a very serious note. So he spoke for maybe about an hour or so. President Toba spoke for almost 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours. 1973. In my hand here. So let's go. Let me read Ambassador Barker's speech here so that we all can enjoy it together. And please forgive me with my total English. Don't hold me to it. Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, blah, 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 blah. We are thankful to the Lord Almighty, the preserver of our state, for his abundant blessing upon us. As the war confronts various crises, war, pandemic, climate change, migration, and we pray for a better, more peaceful, sustainable, and inclusive global order. Exactly 1 week ago, Vice President Jeremiah Cohen and I took the oath of office. As a result of war, leaders, friends, and citizens of Liberia at home and in the diaspora looked on. That solemn occasion marked yet another historical moment in our democracy as well as we carry out a transfer of power. Liberia is getting there. In observing of my constitutional duty, it is an honor to come before this object body, the people representatives, to report on the national situation as we met it and present our agenda for development in the coming year. We must acknowledge the harsh reality that faces us. As we report that the state of our nation is not what we deserve. Campaign over, Honorable Bagai, President Bagai, CDC out, campaign over. But he's been truthful. He's been truthful. It is important to note the problem that confront us: poverty, drug epidemic, corruption, poor infrastructure, and an unperforming economy. The current challenges present us with a unique opportunity to embark on a new journey of hope. This is our commitment to rescue our nation. Let me speak a little bit about that. While I'm on that, let me speak a little bit of that. Because what he's saying here is very interesting. So he's saying, in so many words, but I would still put words in your mouth. I'm ridiculous. I will be ridiculous. So what? I will put words in his mouth. So what he's saying is that, look, we have an opportunity. Opportunity to do what, President Barker? Opportunity to do what? Oops. No, not right. Opportunity to do what? He said we have an opportunity to restart. And where you restarting from? 1847? I will address that tonight. Okay? So he said we have an opportunity. So the opportunity for them to restart, I don't know. But, oh, come on now. I'm trying to reply to this stuff here. Give me a moment, please. Okay, we're getting that. We're getting that. Just give me a moment. Folks, I mean, are we in rush? No, we're not. So the issue I have with these panelists here, look like they're trying to boycott me. They're trying to boycott me. I will make that. I will. Amos George, Mali, and the rest. Sissy Goya. I think they're trying to boycott me. But let me finish this, and I will make my statement, and then I'll move on. I think they're trying to boycott me. What I don't know what they think I'm not able to talk for myself. I don't know. I don't know exactly why they want to boycott me. Maybe the conservative have gotten to them, and so now they see reason to try to boycott me. But yes, what they don't know. What they don't know is when they try to boycott me, the more they stay away from me, the better I feel. So let them stay out. That's okay. They don't want to join me. That's fine. Terry is here, or he'll be back. So I don't know whether they're trying to boycott me. I don't know exactly because they've been staying that way, but that's okay. So here's what I'm going to be doing now. If none of these people show up tonight, this is what I'm going to be doing. Starting tomorrow, I will switch to the other platform. I will switch to the other software, and that way I don't even bother myself sending anything out to anybody. So, but anyhow, let me go on. So, President, and I'm reading this thing here. As soon as Terry comes, I will stop the reading. So he said, the current challenge presents us with a unique opportunity to embark on a new journey of hope. I don't believe what he meant actually the hope of the people, but so that they might consider themselves like a new founding father, because he's going to put in places some of the most important agenda that will move Liberia to the next level. So I think that's what he's going through. Let me bring Terry on. Terry, thank you for joining us. Oh, what happened? Hold on, Terry. My thing won't run away from me. Hold on, Terry, please. Okay. Good evening, Terry. How you doing?
Yeah, Pato, good
So
evening.
I believe that Amos Joyce, Mali, and Sissy Goya are trying to boycott me. So this is what I'm going to do. If they don't, no, I'm serious. If they don't come on tonight, tomorrow, I will go on to the other software, and I will only be able to send people like you. I will send you the invitation. If nobody comes on, I got a lot of subject matter to talk. I can't be running behind them, come and join. They want to pick and select. That's fine. So, but anyhow, they think because if they come, the fact that I'm a Buckeye supporter, then I might try to suppress their view, which is not the case. It's not the case. They're allowed to speak anytime and say whatever they want to say. But I don't know the reason why they've been staying that way, but that's okay. But let's go ahead. Thank you for joining me. Now, folks, now that I have Terry here, I'm going to sit down now. Terry, go ahead. What's on your mind, sir?
Yeah, well, you have been dealing with everything that is happening, that is on our mind, and I've been watching you and all that. But what I observe is that there's a glitch in the pronouncement of nominees. I don't know why, but there's a little bit of stall in the pronouncement of nominees and all of that. But I've been reading the two speeches, one from the inauguration speech and also the speech today. And I think Ambassador Boga means well for Liberia, but something I captured in the inaugural speech that I think he was trying to express some deep regret as regarding, the way the country was ran under the way the country was run under the settlers' children, and I think he really emphasized over and over on it in the inaugural speech. And what amazed me is a lot of people are not discussing the inauguration speech, and I think that is a form of distraction because there are a lot of information in that inaugural speech alone that I think we need to look at. You hear me? No, I'm not hearing you. I'm not really hearing you. I'm not hearing you. Okay, I think he's talking. Okay, Mr. So. Mr. So, you hearing me? You hearing him?
I hear him crying like a little baby here this evening.
Okay.
You not cry, you try to take star and all of that. Come on. I'm not hearing something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he's talking to his people.
He confused now because I'm here. Phobia. We're not hearing you, oh man.
Okay. Can you
Now
hear
I'm
me now,
hearing.
right?
What, are you
Yeah, we
afraid
can hear you
because
now.
I came
No,
on?
no. These people they're trying to boycott me. So tomorrow
What
I'm
is
going to the
responsible?
other. I'm going to tell
What is
myself.
responsible
That's it.
for that? Why you think people boycotting you?
Because they're afraid that when they come here, I will
No.
suppress their view.
Oh, you were suppressed. That's what you're good at. You suppress people's view, and so
Let them stay. And that's what I
yes,
say. When they tell them, I said tomorrow, you're not coming on my show again. You're good night. That's it. But anyway, Terry, thank you for, as I was saying, as you came in, my foot knocked my stuff off the air. Thank you for being there and taking it. But go ahead.
Hey,
Mr.
what?
So, good evening. Thank you for joining us.
How you greeting me so?
God, when you off, you're part of the boycott group anyway.
No, why
You and your
do so
people.
need to be here tonight? Because too many things happening in the country, Papa. So, like I was saying, right? That inauguration speech, I'm very surprised that most of the media are not even talking about it. There are so many things in that inauguration speech because, you know, Mr. Mali made me to go back to the inauguration speech last night to read it because he said something that made me to go back to it. And I read a lot of things that I think Ambassador Boga was trying to bring out. And there is another side of him that I think he referring to, mostly about the indigenous. And many people are not looking at it. Many people are not looking at that place. They not residing in there. You know,
What you mean when he wanted most power to be transferred to the countryside?
Yeah, I think he was clearly expressing the way in which the settlers suppressed the indigenous Liberian, thereby building a class system of elitism. And he said this class system of elitism have progressed into another dimension of elites.
Yes.
All right. That is peddling the country, that is stopping the trickle-down effect of the resources to the rest of the other people. So you said there is a progression of elitism that have progressed in a system that is the reason why bulk of the other indigenous and other people are still suffering.
Right.
So you know, I was looking at it, and many people, and that is surprising because of the falling down and the fainting and all of things. People have been distracted and carried away by that, so they were not able to actually see the ingredients in that inauguration speech. But that speech was a bomb, and that speech really explained the grief, his grief, and some of the reason why he decided to run to become president. That is what I thought he was pouring out. But most of the media people are not running with that. They're talking different tabata, older man. Today's speech, to be honest with you, there are two areas, but one specifically that I admire, that he talked about the ombudsman, that he want to establish the ombudsman that will be responsible.
He's going back to his inaugural and bringing a little bit of that in there.
Yeah, that will be responsible to hold people accountable for not following the code of conduct. And other people are saying, oh, this is that day, but that is what it is. He's trying to tell you that the reason why Liberia is not moving is not because we don't have proper laws on the book to effect change. The reason is because the laws are not being followed. So you need to organize something that will enforce the law. Because if you have a group like that is specifically focusing on the code of conduct, they will be responsible to take care of the code of conduct single-handedly. Thereby, they will focus on it, and anybody who is not found living by the law will be reprimanded. But if you just have it general like the way it is now, oh, there's a code of conduct, everybody is abusing the code of conduct. So because there is no system, or there is no office responsible, like the Anti-Corruption Commission or the GAC, that is just responsible to only focus on those who would not follow in line with the code of conduct law. You know, and people say, oh, it's not necessary. You know, you will not have money enough to. Then what about all these other organizations that have been organized?
He runs
you know,
CISA?
Libra is using its technology to the
just
better.
as big as you guys.
You know, Libra is playing with us, yeah. Just carrying the thing, doing the drone.
Well, I want my picture to be the same size as you guys.
No, there's no way you can be like me. You try to be yourself.
You know, so yeah, so I think that's my take. There's so much, but I think those were things. And another thing he talked about is the organizing of the Ministry of Tourism information. I think he want to create. You know, he talk about transferring it from just a normal ministry to a local government that will be responsible to decentralize the government. I think there's also we're talking about that here all the time, to decentralize the government, thereby, and I think some of the reasons that would be is to protect some counties' resources, because there are some counties that are not fully benefiting from the resources. You know, so when you operating with a local
the man you're
government,
crying for, the man here, why you want to bring him in?
Responsible to do that.
How are you, Mr. Jones?
How are you, sir?
Good. People
You will not have that opportunity tomorrow. Miles Jones waited until you came in for him to cut. You're not going to have that opportunity tomorrow. Enjoy yourself.
Stop
Well,
crying.
are you done, Derek?
Stop
Good
crying,
evening,
baby.
Miles Jones. Thank you, Mr. So. What's on your plate?
Well, honestly, you see my location right now. We had a conversation. So honestly, I'm still going through, but I managed to grab 1 or 2 points and saying I have the how you call it, the speech yet, but much time has not been invested in the interest of fairness. As you know, Mali, myself, very independent mind on this network who tries to always give the audience the true picture of what is happening. But I still processing it. I managed to skim through it, and there are some good pieces there. But I still see I'm not a fan of a big government in terms of spending. But for what I perused so far, and maybe detail will follow, there are a lot of good things inside, but I was waiting to see whether the flesh will be put on the bones later on. I like the idea of expanding government, especially returning to the municipal sort of governing style. And that's how it used to be before. You know that. And I believe, and I'm looking for the more details of that, where local community will be able to elect their own leaders, the city mayors, the superintendent, the commissioners, and all of that, instead of the executive having the dominant power over government. I see taking the government to the people. We're waiting to see. The words are very good, but whether that will be perfected into action, that's another thing we are waiting to see. I'm kind of a little bit worried. Talking about the commissions, how that going to happen. Are we increasing the size of government? Where the funding is going to be coming from? He laid out a very good idea. To be honest, there's some sort of, he just didn't talk about the problem, but there was some sort of solution. But the question, how we're going to arrive at those things, that has I didn't hear that good. But like I said, in the interest of fairness, I will still try to review that. Not just only the script, but the auditory aspect of it. Honestly, I've not even seen the worship because I've been having a very hectic day still. I work here, so I just managed to skim through it. But but like I was saying, something I thought that he would have injected, and he didn't bring it into this. And maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, you guys could. From what I see in the script I read, maybe it's a skip. I didn't see him talking about the war and economic crime code. The state of union, the state of affair of the country, basically is is a direct communication with the country, the international community, to reassure them. I thought people who injected that into the inaugural was a direct provocation to Senator Prince Johnson, who he knows that is taboo, that war, he doesn't like that. war. And bringing it into an election, inaugural, he's quite correct. It was a celebration time. It was a time to bring his coalition that brought him to power. But the inaugural, more or less, is a holistic one for the good of the country, for the international community. Some of the things that were talked behind off camera to say it. But what he did, he put it first. Now he cannot bring it back, because if he did that, that would have opened a sort of a strong wound with his ally. But again, like I said, from the few, he just don't talk about the problem. There are some sort of solutions he putting forward to see, but we'll wait and see. And another thing that I want to give them credit, I told you when we're talking about the press secretary, a presidential press secretary, a good communicator is someone who is spontaneous to communication,
Right.
not just only. I never followed her before, but when she was tapped, we decided to open a corridor. And like I said yesterday, I shoot her a message without her hesitating, just give an intro who I am, the network that I represent. And she was kind enough to get back. And guess what? What I noticed today, immediately after the president's speech was transcribed and it was published. That's
true.
how you're supposed to do. That where I see the effectiveness in really opening up to other media institutions or even to the general public, as she professes to be during those press conferences. That's something key. And that has been lacking with the last government. You don't want for people to speculate. When people begin to circumspect of what's happening now, it's going to take a different trend. But right after that, immediately, that speech was published. It gave people the clear-cut idea as to what the president was saying, and they can make up their own thought. But again, I'm still going through the revision to give my own personal views and analysis. Mr. Jones, good evening. Samson is planning the protest on you, on me, and stuff like that. But that's another thing we're going to talk about.
Mr. June, good evening. What's on your plate?
The issue of protests is sometimes met with counter protests, so that's nothing to worry about.
Great, good.
The man's a revolutionary.
There are a lot of boxing gloves in most stores nowadays than ever before. But it's the question of the techniques and how you apply the boxing glove to knock down your opponent.
If you can see them, if you have the opportunity to go in the same ring with them, but you will not get the opportunity to get in the same ring. Are you a box with me?
Well, we can invoke the spiritual power to do some work for us. Okay. Anyway, let's get to something real business right now. First of all, starting with the press secretary. I'm disappointed and I'm also happy. This government is an action-packed government. A lot of things is in the package. We cannot get a press secretary who is still a student. The press secretary is a first-year student at the law school. That's conflict of interest in the first place, despite her deliverable and what's have you. That is a problem in the first place. Because as I said, and I will still say it again, the performance of Joseph Boakas's government, when the government started to go wrong, the press secretary, the director of communication and information ministry, will got a lot to explain to us. Now I've got a press secretary who, in fact, is still in school. That's another issue probably we'll discuss another time. But let's get to the issue of the speech. I don't know where it's Terry. We're on this platform when Elvis introduced something that he saw in the inaugural speech. And that issue was associated with the Congo and tribal divide. Elvis were under attack by the Imam and Collins.
Oh, goodness.
Yes. And thank God, Collins went back to read this thing, and he decided to make an intro here. I was listening. I hope Evan will come back so they can apologize to him. He and the imam can apologize to him.
So who's the imam?
You know the imam. We don't need to
Able
go there.
judge.
We know the imam. However, we got to make progress. You see, we know the imam. So what we are saying here is that
Trouble Omen and put together.
yes, that portion of Joseph Boakai's speech is troubling. Evan was trying to bring it, and he was just kicked in the face and what have you. I hope he will come back. I hope we'll all go back to replay it. But anyway, back to the inaugural speech. I think the president-elect, the president have got a very good intent. When you read his inaugural speech, his address to the parliament, he got a very good intent. But I see a lot of challenges, and I also have some disappointment. First, let's talk about the goodness of the speech, which of course I'm still studying the CEO said. We are all studying it. But here is what I see that gone wrong with Joseph Boakai and his rescue team. The issue of priority. The issue of priority is still a major problem with the Joseph Boakai administration. Joseph Boakai is coming up with a real park reform, as I can see from what he's talking about. Okay? But I don't see how the reform going to settle down when a man is not even concerned about security sector reform. I don't know how those things going to work. Liberia, we have a fragile security system. All right? The security system in Liberia is fragile, is frightening. That has not even been addressed by the president in his inaugural speech and his address to parliament. 1. 2, like the CEO said, the war crime and economic code is a serious business. Whether he before parliament, whatsoever he is, these are things that we must continue to hear. Whosoever get annoyed must get annoyed. But if the president is telling us that something he can put in, it will get other people annoyed, then this president, he beginning to twist his hands. That's a problem. The next thing is the issue of judicial reform. These are serious things that were even highlighted in the Human Rights Report. Only the rich people get justice in our country. You cannot bring all the reform in the absence or even fixing those places. It's not possible. Okay? He went in there and took 10,000 of the youth in Liberia. According to the census, the young people are about 37%. That's a high population down there. He took 10,000 to get them a specialized skills. That's a good thing, but there's a lot of problem there, a lot of challenges in there. Okay? The type of skill the president is talking about imparting to these people will only be absorbed adequately into what I call an industrial economy. We don't produce machine, we don't do nothing. We still doing with cash economy around there. You're going to impart knowledge into these people. So I thought the president was even going to impart a rehabilitation of these kids that is very, very key to this country. I didn't hear that. Okay. It is not imparting knowledge to the young people. It's the end result we are after. Are they going to be employed? We don't have an industrial country. All right. Imparting knowledge is fine, but it's the end result I'm more concerned about. Where do people get a job to survive? What happened to the rebel fighters? Okay. Yet our security sector is infested with rebel commanders. He's not concerned about that. Reform can never move in the absence of security sector reform. Secondly, I noticed the president had paid a lip service to education in his talk to Parliament. A complete lip service on education. Go there and read it. Okay, and I was taken aback on that. There are other good things. Don't get me wrong. I just started with the bad one, but there are other good things in there. But all the things the president talk about, which of course probably during the course of the week we'll segment them and begin to analyze them. The issue of enforcement is conspicuously missing in the public speech. He said, good thing. All the government have been coming in Liberia. The question of enforcing this thing has been the problem. I don't know how he going to enforce some of these things. I don't know. Okay, saying that is one thing. Enforcing them to the letter is another thing. So I want to pause there for that.
Let me deliberate. I know there's going to be an uncomfortable conversation, but like I said, Mali, we are here to perform a surgical operations on the conduct of our country, not just Mali and I. We had this history. We've been doing it. You and Terry, you're on the other side. But Mali did mention something very crucial, and that slipped my mind: the issue of these 10,000 youth and all of that. So the question now becomes, what is the total number of figure? Let's remember, under his watch, when he was sitting vice president, Helen Johnson Sirleaf, billions of dollars were invested into the rehabilitation process on Helen Johnson Sirleaf by the international community, because this was something they really for interest as to curtail all of these crime and these people not being able to be properly integrated into society. Now, I do not know, maybe it's somewhere, I do not know the exact number of beneficiary as to where the Helen Johnson Sirleaf government stops. He, as a sitting vice president at the time, how many people were benefited, how many people were left out, what was the progress made? We don't know that. So let he not get ahead of his shadow here. This is very, very much important. 10,000. Again, I've not gone through that, but on the surface, where are these 10,000 coming from? Are they coming from Mosorado? And if it is Mosorado, Mosorado is only to the Republic of Liberia. What happens to Lofa? What happens to Grand Basso? What happens to Nima, Sino? So I thought probably the president will talking about the youth integration to rehabilitation as sort of national. They will take a national revision of the rehabilitation process where, like he's returning government to the municipal. They will also in turn will try to do some sort of statistical review of how many youth, in that category in the Liberia County districts, and present, because I can tell you the government of Liberia will not have the money, but you have to be strategic. When you come up with this figure and you present that to the international community, donors, say, hey, this is one of the liabilities on national government in our country. And we intend to make a huge investment to rehabilitate these people, not just only rehabilitate, but integrate them into society with this skill. But the way he has put hook on this number, 10,000, I'm a free thinker. Who's going to be the direct beneficiary of that 10,000? Where are they coming from? And what happens to the rest of the other 20,000? So who is being left behind into this process? And these are legitimate concerns.
Let me disabuse you a little bit on that as well.
Go right ahead.
When the president made that statement, in fact, the inaugural speech is where he's laying out his agenda, not the entire agenda.
No way.
The activities in terms of the application and the bringing to life the agenda is something different. And that's why he employing people that have the ability to put the meat to the bone. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's giving out the bone, and then those who have the ability to put the meat on, they will. Now, for example, the 10,000. Okay, how is this?
How you came up with that number?
Mr. So, He's the president of the Republic of Liberia.
You see,
Yes.
this is why you do. Terry is uncomfortable with what you're saying right now. I ask you a simple question.
I just want you to know that he's now on the witness bench to be questioned as such. I'm just telling you. The man before the speech, most likely, and I don't know these.
Most likely.
Yeah, because I'm not with them. Most likely, they have already identified areas where those 10,000 people are going to come from.
So if you speak into the nation and you identify the area, don't you think it is wise, makes sense to tell us exactly those places that are being identified?
He's giving you the overall view. He's not being specific. Why you want? What do you want? You want him to stop being specific in everything? No, he's giving you the overall blueprint. Now the specific is going to come. The people who are responsible, they will give you the specific.
That's a wrong approach. That's a wrong approach, and this is why you don't even need to get closer to that president, because you will always give
president, and you're not the president. You're president of LPR. You're not president of Program Liberia. So just keep it like that. You wouldn't have Samson told to deal with. He have over 5 million Samson told to deal with. So, Terry,
but excuse me, Libra, I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
You know, I know, CU and I, we have a lot of commonalities.
Jesus.
You not getting me?
No, I get you.
He pretend.
No, I think Terry. Something wrong with Terry phone.
Nothing wrong with them. Terry will not say anything. Terry supporting his
Terry say you're not hearing.
Go out and come back.
Again, they're playing.
Go out and come back.
Oh.
Yeah, come back. Go ahead, Molly.
Wait now, but why you out to again? Then you're crying far. But anyway, let's get to the issue.
You know the people here.
The issue here is this, Pato. We get different population in this platform. We got Daha. We have different population of specialists on this platform. We have Daha. We have Committed. We have Amara. So and we just independent. That's all about it. We're not anybody payroll. We're not looking for a job. Yes. We're not even looking for friendship.
Additionally, we don't dance. We inform people what they need to know.
So we are here to do our job according to our philosophy.
Speak.
Subjective.
So I know we said something here last night, and my brother Collins and the Imam, they said, oh no, the Papa said about that. But in looking at the
But
Papa,
that's why I wanted to push back on. That's why
I
wanted to put. I listened to you. I wanted to push back on that.
I come in, oh man. I see why we all on different lean tonight. I honor my partner, you honor your partner. However, the Papa did listen to our message last night, and in the inaugural speech, he brought one of my items I challenged. I challenged in the inaugural speech that was missing, but because he listened to all that, he brought it in the address to Parliament, which was school. It was excellent. I want to applaud him for that. The car now being stuck in the mud. He brought it in his inaugural. He brought in his presentation to Parliament today because he listened to the platform. That's excellent. Whosoever told him, that was a good thing. And I want to thank Colin and all for their indirect support on that one. However, the issue I keep saying, if the president is jumping over certain things, there is going to be problem for the reform in Liberia. Liberia is fragile. Liberia is not a normal society that we're supposed to be running right now. No. 2 years ago, the outside security were in there to help Helen Johnson and Joseph Barker run this thing. We are in, he tried his best. Now he back again. So I call the whole thing as Unity Party Part 2. I know I stand by that. This is Unity Party Part 2. But the issue, so the CEO just raised, the 10,000 youth. History tells us that we have 16,000 ex-rebels in our country. They are all grown now. Some of them were child soldiers, they're all grown now. Half of the things that are happening in our country now can be attributed to some of them. Okay, the only language they speak now is crime. The only thing they can able to do now is to take gun and do something. So if you go in there to take 10,000 or whatsoever they're coming from, I don't know the population. I don't know where they're going to come from. But the specialized skill he tend to impart to this kid is very good. All right? It's a timely. The end game. We don't have an industrial system. All right? So why are we dodging vocational things that can help the children move hand in hand with economic? Like carpentry, electricity, building. You go into a very sophisticated thing like that. So the question now is, so just said it, what population going to benefit from this thing? High school, college dropout, college student? I don't know. So I'm waiting to see the details. All right.
Let me
Wait a minute now. I'm not one of the physicians that came here to get medication to the government to get well. I'm
Nobody, the government are sick. The government are sick. They don't need your medicine.
So and I,
the
we
government is not sick. We don't need your medicine.
You and Colin have come to get medication to the government.
No,
we did not.
We're fine. We're just fine. We're fine.
No, you're not fine.
You keep to get medicine to yourself.
We came to do surgery and identify the problem and remove it.
We ain't ready to die here. We'll stay here. Surgery where? You're sitting down.
Well, I don't know how you've seen it.
Yeah, let me come in real quick.
Thank you, Mr. Malley. Thank you, surgical, whatever. Thank you. Let me just do this here. Okay. I think there's 10,000 part that the president made, the point he made about the 10,000. Let me speculate a little bit.
Oh,
most likely,
okay, again,
how this thing gonna end is that these people, if we are successful for them to be trained, they will be just like India, where these people company will come from here and try to have a sale in Nigeria. And these people with the technical knowledge, with the computer service, they will be able to stay in Liberia and be a salesperson and be able to answer phone, just like people in Bangladesh, India, and what have you.
Answer what?
All right, Terry.
Yeah. So what the puppet is saying is 10,000 people will come from where in the government. There will be people from the government. No, give me a chance now. Hey, give me a chance. I'll give you.
Let me explain your point.
Let speak.
Let's go ahead.
People will be people that work in the government.
Nah.
Young people that will go on scholarship for training in RT and other experiences, because the old man clearly stated today, if I read very well, that he is also trying to infuse into the system a cashless society where it will will not need to be using cash. I don't know if you guys read about that. So he is projecting a technological Liberia in the next 6 years to come, or in the next 4 to 5 years. He's preparing for a Liberia that will be on the technological level, to be on par with the international world. All right. So that is why he said that he's trying our best to install a system that will create the opportunity for us to go cashless. So which means we are progressing to entering into the digital age. So we're not going backward, Mr. Malley, we're going forward. All right. People are now using technological equipment to do carpentry. People are using technological equipment to do masonry. People are using technological equipment to do other skilled work jobs now in the Western world. You think Liberia is still going to be using put somebody in a vocational school to be knocking hammer? No.
I get a question for you, old man.
What the old man? Yeah, Mr. So what you wanted to say something?
Yeah, look, you and Liberal shouldn't come here to
dilute the water,
undercut and create some sort of conspiracy here. What the president, because you want to say, you are not the Donald Trump Michael fixer here to come and fix something. Look, when you are talking about that, then what I am interested in hearing, he will be telling me how much his government going to be investing into technology.
But that wasn't mentioned. That is what I wanted to say. You
did a speech. No, you wrote his speech.
I didn't write the speech, but he outlined.
Is that why he's saying
all his international partners? He outlined to you all his international partners.
Terry, you don't do that to us.
Yeah, but the old man is going to make sure to go out of the country and travel to lobby for support. Just how Ellie used to do. This is not something that's coming from the budget.
Terry,
hold on. Let me say this to both of you, Mr. Murray.
No, Pato, you got to control this thing here.
Hold on 1 minute. You and Mr. So.
Yeah.
Tonight is President Baka night. Well, it's not just LPR platform. So when you're coming in
and
to speak on issue about President Baka, make sure that you understand that you're speaking about the President of the Republic of Liberia.
This is an intimidation.
To make sound decision on our behalf. Go ahead.
Liberal, let's be clear about this. Mr. Collins is coming in to speak the president's mind. He can make his own projection. He can speak for the president. We all read our speech today. You understand? That speech lacking so many things when it comes to that 10,000 you. So that vision you are projecting and trying to read the heart of the mind of the president, I don't want to believe that's the direction in the first place.
But that is why you don't even know.
Let me learn now. And secondly, we are far from digital age right now. I can tell you that.
No.
I know. Just give me a chance. I know most of y'all are daha. The daha are always daha. I agree with you. But what I'm seeing here is this. You have a population that is even illiterate. These very young people, they can't even read and write. They're still in grades to graduate in our country according to sources. All right? They can't even write 13 letters. Okay? Then you coming to put them into a specialized era. I'm coming now. Let me finish, oh man.
So what makes you think that you're able to be
you give me a chance. We are far from the digital age you are talking
about.
You
are just saying the same thing over and again. What I want to say, I was on the floor, I was speaking.
Okay. Take the floor.
You still going backward. Liberia is not in the old days.
No,
first of all, I'm coming. Mr. Mane, I'm coming.
Terry, speak. Terry, speak. I'm coming put two of them in your backyard right now. Terry, speak.
People now, the thing you're talking about, people didn't know. They tell you that people writing with pen anymore. People are doing our work. Even in Liberia, people are sitting down on their phones, they're washing, they're typing, and the information, what they type in on the phone is giving them a direct. The phone alone can put the words in for you and give you a complete sentence if you know how to structure sentencing and all of that. People are not thinking anymore about writing or hold something, sitting down one place to write something for 2-3 hours. No. The world is progressing. That's what the people were telling you, that the educational sector is going to experience a reform.
Exactly.
You are talking about the man being made. Ambassador Boka is not going to take 2 hours to discuss in detail.
He can get all the business.
Male, I think let's listen to him. You can make your point.
No, let's in a partnership with people on here. We can.
No.
We're not gonna rebels showing up here. We will block you.
I'm not rebel. We can be proactive.
The old man spoke about the educational sector. the level of progression and the reform he anticipates. The Papa is not going to take 2 hours to tell you in detail that, oh yeah, I will get 10,000 job, and one will be for Terry, the other one will be for Liberian. No, he's not going to explain to you that the speech was supposed to be done within 45 minutes. And within 45 minutes, he was able to concise the speech in a way that he touched every major aspect and highlighting it for you to see the projection as to what his intentions are. He not coming, can't tell you in detail that, oh yeah, we'll get in the truck, we'll put the sand inside, we'll take it from here to the other place.
No, we're not here. Ambassador Baka is not here to do any salad dressing.
But then you are interrupting the same Collins man you're protecting.
The comes in.
Yeah, the old man is going to travel and he's going to lobby with other international communities that is going to help to invest, even if it costs for us to credit. But we need to be able to get money from outside, not the budget. From outside the country, to
you know
bring it in the country to
look like you were
invest
in the room when they were writing a speech.
Vision.
Yes. Yeah.
You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that. That was when he read to the other part, he allowed all his international partners to tell you that these are the people that will be helping me in the process.
Exactly.
So I don't know when you wear these glasses,
let him break his own neck. Let's let him break his own neck. Go ahead, Mali. Break your neck. Come on.
Point of correction.
No, don't just speak your mind.
No. You're not going to tell me what to say. Point of correction. We are ready tonight, and we'll take it. We'll take the bull by the horn tonight. Point of correction. In a presentation to Parliament, go and
what are you correcting? You're correcting Ambassador Baka or Terry?
I'm correcting the both of you because you're speaking for him now. You're speaking for him, so I'm correcting the both of you.
Okay, go ahead.
In our presentation, I read it. I was looking for education because there are some specific things I look for. I don't just go read because I want to read. The President Baka paid a lip service to education in our presentation. That's the first thing.
Who said so?
And I read it.
Well, you can't give
and I read it. Give me a chance now. You don't want me to
classify as being
wait a minute now. I'm not speaking President Baka mind here. I'm not making projection for him. Now you put making projection for him. All right?
No, I just want to know, how did you come to that conclusion that it's a lip service?
Because the educational system is underwater in Liberia. So there are some specifics. Okay? A level mind needed to read and see and say yes. The president laid a lot of good roadmap for a lot of things in our thing there. The educational system, it was a lip service he did to it. I'll continue to repeat that.
According to you.
Yeah, but let's get back to the issue of the 10,000.
But you just jumping. So tell us, what was the lip service that he made on the educational
system? First of all, our educational system, our educational is morally corrupt. He had not done research to find out the problem. 2, we need quality education, yet he didn't even talk about that. 3, he know the problem of the education in Liberia. You know, I know. He didn't say anything about that. He said he will revitalize. What are you talking about? We've been hearing the English many times. Helen said it. Better people said it. We're not prepared for that anymore. We want you to give us something substantive that when we read it, then we can get hope for the future. He did it to so many other things in there. I saw it. And I thank him for that. The educational service sector, he paid a lip service to it in our presentation. Then we got to move on now to the 10,000. The census tells us that we're having 37% young people, according to the census, in our country. That's a huge population. Secondly, he was put in charge of rehabilitation in the 12 years. Okay, that rehabilitation was specifically for the 16,000 rebel. Today, Liberia is fragile because most of the children are on the loose, no job, no education.
Let me hold you right there. Can you
I'm coming now. No, you're not holding me there.
Let me finish.
We want to
finish.
understand.
No.
Did you say he was put in charge?
Yes. Yes, you were put in charge. Go to your research. You were put in charge. Yes.
You don't know who was.
Okay.
You don't know who was
Anyway,
spearheading the rehabilitation.
Yeah, you are put in charge. You can prove me wrong when you do your research. However, today, our country has been hijacked by these child soldiers who have become adult, and they have formed themselves into a career criminal empire in our country. All right? You go in there, Terry is telling me in the government, they're going to take them from in the government. Well, I don't want to challenge that fact. Okay? I don't know whether 10,000 people are going to be employed in the government. I don't know that. My question to Joseph Boakai and his allies and Daha, where is he going to draw the 10,000 from? Is it from the high schools? Is it from the colleges? Where? That's my question. And my next question is that Terry just said that we are in mobile age now. People, how many people? We are still behind so many things. You don't even have electricity to even prepare your laptop.
Okay, thank you.
Let me read this for you. Okay,
we are behind this. All right, Mali, thank you. Let me go. Let me tell you this.
The end game of the 10,000 is for them to get employed.
Mali,
so we cannot equip Liberia to other technological country. Oh, we go from that. No.
Mali, are you going to let people talk?
We are not. We have not reached that stage yet.
Okay, thank you. Listen to this. Listen to this. You're coming out here, you say the statement you made, which is ridiculous to be honest. You said that the ambassador, President Boakai, gave a lip service to the
education.
Let
the man speak now, Mr. Mali.
Is speaking, Mali. I don't want to pack you in the ground.
You have dominated the show already.
Let me tell you. Mr. Shaw, I'm on the floor. This is what he said.
Yeah.
And you need to pay attention to it.
Oh, read a thing.
No, I wanted to sink in first before I start reading. That way you're not gonna come back here again.
I printed this thing here.
This is the real one. So he said here. This is what he said. I'm reading the real one, the one you got over that tabata. This is what he said. Education remains a beacon of hope. But our educational system have seen a downward spiral over the years, leaving countless Liberian children without the tools they need to build a better tomorrow. He's going in the past and he's telling you about the future. And you're talking about lip service?
Yes.
How can you classify this as a lip service?
That means those are political statements. That lip service to education.
I'm going to pass
Hold on. Jones.
I'm on the floor.
Jones.
You cannot interrupt.
I think, I think we are doing.
Let me read it. Let me finish. Nobody needs to understand. You can't just come and make a statement, and then when people try to educate you on it, then you want to interrupt. Let me say it. Education is not privilege. It's not a privilege. It is the fundamental right.
Thank you.
That's for Ambassador Boakai. We cannot turn a blind eye to the fact that a significant portion of our population is struggling with a lack of access to quality education. And you call that
technology?
That's lip service.
Let me finish. Let me finish. And there is no other way that we can genuinely seek to successful fight poverty without provision of quality education of our people. Starting now, he said, and you call it lip service. My administration is making steadfast commitment to vitalize our educational system. We will invest in education infrastructure and provide adequate resources. In this, we crave your support. Mr. Mali, if you don't want to stay in Liberia, stay here. Don't come here and tell me my president is giving a lip service to an issue that he has invested so much, he spoke so much about
from the bottom of his heart, and you're going to call it lip service? Embarrassing. What say you, Mr. Soul?
Are you okay?
I can't hear you. Are you muted? Are you scared to talk? I can't hear you.
I'm asking if you are okay.
Yes.
All right. I think
You're
we are having.
muted.
Samson, please start interruptions.
I can't hear you.
But we're hearing him, Mr. Toll.
Okay,
No,
okay,
You're
go
not
ahead.
hearing
Yeah, then you need to fix your microphone. We are having
Yeah, I think I do.
national.
Go ahead. I can hear you now.
So this network, we are having a national conversation, and everybody should not expect everybody to be on the same pace. You got to be convincing, and people should give people the opportunity to express their view.
Yeah.
Your analysis is is not my analysis. I see it from different form, different context, and I think we should, and everyone else, without interruption. It's an intellectual engagement we are having. And so people shouldn't get in feelings when other people read something and their understanding, you can't get to say, oh, this is what the man's saying. That's not the essence of a speech. You give a speech to tell people exactly why it is, and clarity should be provided. Okay, having said that, you can go whatever you want to go. This is where I was talking about. In our quest, you read your 2-3 paragraphs, no interruption. Hopefully, I will be given the opportunity as well, and you can convince me as a deputy press secretary, whatever it is. In our quest to expand the economy, we will leverage information, communication, technology, RCT in creating jobs, especially for our youth. To achieve this, my administration will train up to 10,000 young people in various digital skills in the first half of the 2024. The Liberian middle class goal must be a reality in the next 6 years. Great explanation, great talking point. You're going to be creating technology with 10,000. So I'm curious, how much is going to be invested? Because we're not just talking about, all we are talking about how much, when we even talk about infrastructure, you have to tell people how much your government intend. It's not just by saying it's going to be a thing. So there can be a short-term goal, there can be long-term goal. You set up a commission. What is the report of the commission? So what is the status? What is the over review that we're going to, we need to know in order to invest? Are you telling us the 10,000, how much going to be invested into the 10,000 people? What type of different skills? And like what Terry was saying, vocational, the MVTC and all of those places, are those equipped? Because people want to be somewhere where they can be. Internet now is still a challenge, broadband in this time here. Okay, I want that to be more viable. Every time my daughter calls me, oh, I still need data on my phone. Teachers giving all sort of assignment, they themselves, the data they can't buy, they expect people to buy. So there must be a bottom to top short-term, long-term goal to get people. Don't just throw things and you expect that everybody will flow with it without providing the detail as to how these things going to be generated, what's going to be first, what's going to be second, and how much national government intend to invest into these things. That's what we are saying. You can support who you support, but we have heard these things before. I don't want to go into the George Weah scenario. 6,000 teachers are going to come and those teachers never show up today. I'm not sure what I'm about to comprehend to say, 10,000 people. Where the 10,000 coming from? Who are doing the review of those 10,000? How can those 10,000, what qualify those 10,000, those first 10,000? Is there a badge from one group to another group?
So what is your concern, Mr. Soul?
Well, if you're not listening, then I'm sorry. I'm not speaking crime.
What is your concern?
I am not speaking crime. So if you want me to put it in the crime dialect, then I can do that.
No, my mic was giving me issue. What do you think?
If you fix your mic, then we can have that conversation. I'm not going to be repetitive.
What is your concern?
A what? It fixed now?
Yeah, what is your concern?
I was not speaking to you directly. I was talking to the audience. I think if you deliberately muted your mic,
so that we can help you.
No, you don't need to help me. You don't need to help me because you're not here to help. You're not even helping. You're here to blow the whistle of people or something that you don't.
All right.
You profess.
Maybe your concern is not. It says good evening.
I already speak it out, so I don't need to. I go back to myself to repeat myself. If you chose not to listen to it, that's okay.
Okay. All right.
Pato,
So, thank you for joining us. We're having some serious conversation here.
Hello.
And, we're having some disagreement, but which is okay.
No, it's not a disagreement.
Pato, I have a concern about the speech you were reading to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me work on Sissy first.
Okay.
Sissy, thank you for joining us. Let's Mali's tell me what his concern. Go ahead, Mali. What is your concern?
Yes, my concern here is that I've been doing a lot of research on education in Liberia. Okay.
True.
I may not be doing it in a direction to please anybody.
Fine.
I'll be doing it because I know exactly what I'm looking for.
Right.
Because as I speak to you, I'm in the area of education. I'm a student there. So
we
I'm
know.
learning a lot. Very
PhD.
good. So the issue of us using the word Joseph Barker pay a lip service to education, I still maintain it. Yes. There a whole lot need to be done with education before we even start moving to so many other things in our country. The statement you just read about education down there, those are political statements. We've been hearing these things many times. We'll revitalize.
It's a political
you keep repeating the same thing. I think we need to make progress. Because at the same thing,
please let him finish. Go ahead.
I'm not a die here, and I will not be. Okay, so we all get position on this platform. This issue, the presentation by the president on education, we've seen it from different lenses. My lens tell me that it was a lip service, and these are the same political statements on education. I think I've been hearing before. Revitalize, the other one.
What you say?
And the people are behind. I hear it many times. So there's no need for anybody to even educate me on that. All right? And I still maintain my ground, and I still stand by that. Thank you.
Thank you. Sissy, welcome.
What? I shouldn't eat? Is that what you're saying? The rest are eating?
On the platform?
So what?
Are we supposed to be doing that now?
You can eat your snack. Nothing wrong with that. I get a water, so if I want drink, I shouldn't drink because who watching me? Please don't go there.
I think you two are here for confusion tonight.
Oh,
but we will let the show go on.
I'm just eating my strawberry. What's wrong with that? I should fall down because what we're talking about what thing?
You should fall down.
You should feed.
Oh well, I'm not the type to faint on stage.
What's on your mind?
So I was laying down resting, and I listened to my brother who say he has a lens in education, but his lens is very foggy because he's not seeing clearly. Every day, Mr. Mali doing research, we can see it published. But let's talk about the issues. Look, yesterday on this show, Mr. Mali was not happy with the inaugural address. Plenty thinking, now today, he got different thing. But yes, 1 minute. Okay, as we spoke yesterday and the other day, we talked about the idea that I'll hold it. When you give an inaugural address, you're looking at an audience, and it's not where you go to give a prescription, right? Because it happens in the policies, ideas that come on later on. And we talked about previewing this speech, and we talked about what it's supposed to be. So for Mr. Mali to sit down here and talk about it's a political speech, the man is a politician. So what do you expect him to give you? Beyond that, you're talking, he's not going to sit at the State of the Union address to say, we got 10,000 people coming, 3,000 of them will come from Sonnywe, and yeah, 400 of them will come from Barclay, yeah, the other near 20 of them will be their mother, they will be selling fire coal, yeah, that is not how a State of a Union address works. And I don't know the last time Mr. Malley listened to a State of the Union address, but there's been nowhere where people have provided that prescription. But beyond that, he's talking about education. That's the reason I woke up. Because if you take both the State of the Nation address and you take the address on the inauguration and you put them together, you start to get a clearer picture of what Joseph Boakai is talking about with respect to education. So when you go back to what you talk about, education is essential for our development. That is what Mr. Malley be talking about all along. But we believe that the current state offers less bold action that is needed to transform our country, which is what Mr. So talked about, the issue of internet connectivity and all the other pieces. So he's tying those in. As a matter of fact, you talk about ICT, which is an internet connectivity technology that will help that a piece about technology that you all talking about. But when you go beyond there and you come to today's speech or yesterday's speech, the man laid down the prescription. First of all, he recognized that education is the beacon of hope. This is the only boot by which we raise ourselves out of poverty. Beyond that, he leaned into the Article 6 provision of the Liberian Constitution that makes access to quality education a fundamental right. But beyond that, he talks about how it has not been equitable across the spectrum for Liberians. And the way to fight poverty is through education.
Right.
So for Mr. Malley to say he's been doing a lot of research, but that this speech is a lip service, is sad. And that's why I wrote in the chat, I said, Mr. Malley did not understand the speech. And he talks about that he's not a die-hard. I wasn't asking you to be a die-hard. I was asking you to defog the lens that you're looking through, Mr. Malley, because that lens is very fogged.
Thank you. Okay. Mr. Malley, hold on. Mr. Malley.
No, I got a feedback.
Hold on. Will you hold on, Mr. Malley?
Yeah.
Let's go through. First thing, I'm going to now open the line.
No. Let me address there's a concern the man raised about my presentation.
We will come to you. Malley, we will come to you. We will come to you. You know how we do it here. We'll come to you. So, Terry, while we're waiting for the caller, go ahead. And then from there, we'll go to Mr. Malley.
Yeah, you see, it becoming regrettable for us to be Liberians and to express our own patriotism because we don't like an individual. You know, I thought Mr. Malley would say that, oh yeah, I expected this, like what he said earlier, to be in the speech, but it was not there. But he's acknowledging the fact that the man did say these things about education, but he believed in himself that it's a political statement, it's a lip service. Then it means that you just, because you don't like this man, that is the reason why.
Ambrose,
you know,
please.
Because the reason for
please, Lord, Terry, please give me a minute. Ambrose, mute yourself, please. When I read it, I'll call your name. Thank you. Go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, so the reason for an inaugural, not inaugural, but the SONA, the reason for the State of the Nation address is for the man to state his platform as regarding going forward. What are his intentions? Whether it be political or real, it is up to us to find out later on if he refused to initiate these projects. But you cannot just, you know, you have never seen the man working before, you have never seen him in action, you just automatically conclude that the man is giving a lip service. How can you prove that he's giving a lip service? You can't prove it, Mr. Malley. Like Mr. So said, you know, he should have given the details of this. Why? That is a great concern. But when you say this is a political statement and it's a lip service, what are the yardsticks you're using to prove that this is a political statement and it's a lip service? You don't have any something. JMB did not only say this at the State of the Nation address. On the VOA, he made mention of that. That one of the reasons why the young people are not able to be marketable is because of the lack of education. And they are going to prioritize it. So all along, he has been saying these things. Just that we have not been listening.
But,
and also I wanted to add this there, that this 10,000 people that JMB talking about is not only going to just come from, I believe some government guys, and Ellen did it too. There were some people in the government that Ellen sent abroad that came back with education and is making great impact. Even George Weah did the same thing. So I don't want to believe that all these people are going to come from government, but I believe that they're going to be vetted from different places. But as going forward, this information will be plainly made available to us. But the State of the Nation address is not going to explain everything, and that is what it is.
Thank you. Let me say this here. When we come on this platform to have conversation, I think many of us, especially for me, it's like Monday morning quarterback, where the game they play, those who are physically involved in the game on Sunday, the game is done, and we come out and say, if I were in the game, or I should have done it, they should have been this and shit. But at the same time, let us also agree that every one of us must have the opportunity, and we do have that, to express ourselves freely. And I think as educated as we are, there are some expectation when these things happen, and those expectations, if they are not met, we must have the right to express them freely without being questioned our ability or our patriotism. I think that would be my guess on it. Let us take out however way we question or disagree. Let's try to divorce that from the ability to love one's country. Let me see. Is that the trouble? Oh, did I say Mr. Josh? Good evening, Mr. Josh. You run away again.
Coca-Cola gone.
Oh, that your new name, Coca-Cola.
That me, that says that yesterday. That me.
That's it. So,
Good evening, Mr. Josh. Malik, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, I just wanted to make one 3-point of correction. When Sister came in and began to lay her premise on the issue of research, I have not published it, you haven't read it. Let me just educate Sissy on 3 things here. 1, if I'm making a research, it should be for my own personal consumption. That 1. 2, they have different category of research. And I just want for sisters to understand that. If I go do research on the crisis or the educational crisis in Liberia, it's for my archive. That's the first thing. If I went to school and supposed to do academic research, that's a different thing all by itself. And coming on the platform, if you feel uncomfortable about my stand, which of course I still protect that line, that paragraph of education is a lip service. And it's a political statement. It's left for you to tell the listener what you also see rather than coming to play in my backyard. It's not going to benefit the listeners. No. Just tell the listener, well, I saw it from this point, and I think it is this one. I think the listener would benefit and grow. Yes. And the last thing I want to say here is that we don't come on the platform to please anybody's curiosity. No. We come here to share our own experience and how we see things. Not to please A, B, C, and D. No. That's what I already come from on the platform. And the platform is not a classroom where we come to be teaching people. No. We come here based on our experiences to share. And other people who listen, they pick up the bit and piece it if they want to. So I've been doing research on education long before I even came on this platform. I'm still doing it. All right. So if I talk about lip service and look what I read today, there are some details, good things the president said in a presentation to Parliament. A lot of good things. That educational aspect. And I just want to make that correction to Sissy, that I did not say the speech in court as he just said. I said that portion on education is a lip service. So when we're talking, let us try to improve our listening capacity so that we get the narrative going straight.
Thank you.
That portion on education.
Can I make 30-second correction for him, please, when you're done? Get 30 seconds.
That portion.
Just give me a minute.
I mean, now,
First,
I need
Mali,
protection.
thank you.
Just say you are talking, nobody dancing.
Mali, I got it under control. Just respond and let's move on to Mr. George.
Yes. So, Sister, just mischaracterize that presentation. Say the speech. No. I said the portion on education.
Okay.
It's a lip service and it's politicized.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I stand by that, and that is my view.
Thank you. And you're entitled to it. You're
entitled to it.
Yes. Mr. George, good evening. Thank you for joining us. I've been on the platform accusing you, Sissy, and Mali of boycotting my show. But that's something we'll discuss later. What have you been hearing? What's on your plate?
But it would discuss it later. Then why introduce it?
Because I feel like it. But
Sissy, Mali, Terry, Mr. So, how you doing?
But what's about me?
Yeah.
Oh, you spoke. Samson told how you doing?
I'm fine, Mr. George. Okay. Thank you for asking.
Okay. The president's speech, I welcome his speech. I didn't expect him to go into detail, but he laid out his vision, his plan. Now, we're going to see how he's going to implement those things.
Simple as that.
So I will not critique him now because of what he has said. But I want to see 6 months from now what we'll look at, because right now he does not even have a full cabinet. So I will wait to see the next 6 months how you're going to steer the affairs of the state. In this world we live in, we live in America. Every person that comes in, they will talk about certain issues. We hear immigration every day. Someone been in the country for some years now, immigration can't be fixed, but every person that comes, they will address it. During every campaign, they will mention it. Person that comes talk about economy, they want to take the economy this direction. So for every leadership that come in, there are topics they will introduce. The question now is how they're going to solve those issues is what for me I'm looking up to. And what Joseph Walker said today, we know education is a problem in Liberia, it's an old age problem. But for me, I don't expect any leader that will come and don't mention education. Even now, what is taking over Liberia, the drugs, don't talk about it. Because these things were in the campaign messages and he won. So now he just put in the package there to tell, hey, this is where I made a country and this is where I want to take it. These are my plans. This is how I want to tackle this issue. So that's how I look at it. As I said, he didn't touch everything I wanted to hear, but he touched major things in Liberia. Like yesterday, I said, look at the money. Person, we have said the last time he for the 40 million, for the $43 million in the account. Today, the figure was different. So now, it comes back to the issue now. Who is telling the truth? And I have seen the devil dancing before. So I want the outgoing government to publish the balance sheet at that time after the inauguration, because President, we asked when they took over Summit 20, they said there was no money left in the account. was no money, absolutely. When Ellen Johnson said, no, I let 150 million, then he said, oh no, I only saw 50. It's the same thing again he's doing now, saying that he left this there. And to the Honorable Walker said, no, it was not that amount that was there as I speak. So these are issues that I expect in the coming days and months to be addressed. But he touched on basically everything. He talked about corruption. He talked about agriculture. He touched agriculture. Talk about drugs, talk about roles, the plan to tackle it. So for me, I said that I'm not going to start bashing Baka presidency after 6 months. Then I'll have a clear cut now to see how the country is going.
Okay. What kind of camera ANC give you? Because we can't see you.
No. I won't go asking to send me
so I got a 30-second rebuttal.
Yeah, no.
So I can sweep the wall, but I can't get a broom to clean the room also.
I mean, I only have 1%. So don't come my man in your problem. Yeah.
That's Sissy.
Let's go to Sissy. Sissy, go. No, Sissy, before you come on, I have Ambrose here. Can you please give me 1 second? Okay, Ambrose, go ahead. Ambrose, are you there? Ambrose. Okay. Ambrose, are you there?
Let's just carry her point.
I think Breakable called him.
Okay. Ambrose, Ambrose, go ahead. Make it quick so Sissy can finish your point. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Hey, how you doing? Fine. You know, I listened to everything you're saying, and I listened to the speech, and I listened to Yeke. Yeke had a lot to say, and some of the questions that he raised and some of the concerns that he raised, I try to reason with him or want to reason with him why the president gave his cousin a position, Jake Anukawa, whatever he calls it, or his nephew, whoever it is. And I wonder if we ever get in his relative position in his government to work.
That's not what we're talking.
Which one was,
did not have one of his brothers in Freeport?
Ambrose, Joe, we are business.
No, what was your name?
Ambrose.
I'm asking you, Joe, we never had one of your
Samson, can you tell the caller we are talking about the speech?
What was their name?
My phone cutting out now. Say Badre dying. Ambrose, hurry up before Badre died.
Okay. Pato, you need. I don't know if you get high blood pressure or you need to take some pills because you get government.
Ambrose,
he's our president, but we got
Ambrose.
You see, Ambrose.
Ambrose,
on the man show,
right,
you call on the program and you tell the moderator if he can go and take some pills.
Three of his relatives.
Ambrose, hold on. Mr. George is saying something. Mr. George, what were you saying?
No, I'm telling Mr. Ambrose, you call on a program.
Is it the one getting medication?
He have for the prescription. He want to.
Yeah, you're telling the moderator that he should go. You're telling the moderator that he should go.
I can hear
take
you.
Some pills.
He said you call the show and you're telling the moderator to go take medicine.
That is an insult to somebody.
Oh no, because you're getting too overexcited. That's
the first thing you describe him.
At the time he was running, but it seems like everybody negative, but he tried to shut them up.
Ambrose, Ambrose.
I think you know. I don't mean no. No, but hey, I don't want him to.
Doctor.
So Ambrose, Ambrose,
are you going to met Dr. Ambrose?
No, because because you get it too. I think you're sounding more now like a United Party thing.
The Liberal.
Yeah, I think
Ambrose.
Yeah, but the other thing I wanted to.
Somebody want to say something. Hold on
1 second.
Go ahead.
Ambrose.
Okay, I'll go listen to this.
Okay.
Yeah, what
Ambrose.
you saying?
Yeah, why you said it was wrong, you did not even follow the talking point. I don't know what Samson told asking Amos Joy to be a legal counsel here this evening. Look, what we are talking about here, we are talking about the president's speech. We didn't say who the president appointed. That's not what we are talking about here. So that is a complete distraction you're bringing. If you have a point specifically what we're talking about, I think that's the point you should outline. Where you coming from? Who point who? No, is that where you want us to go? That's not a talking point we are having now.
Okay. All right, Ambrose. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. Let's go to Sissy. Sissy, go ahead. Take us home, and then we can make our closing, please.
Yeah. So I just wanted to make.
So you want me to?
You finish talking. Sissy, go ahead.
Wow. Okay.
I just want to make a quick correction to my brother Mali.
But wait now.
You know,
you make correction, Mali make correction.
Mali did not. I was not making correction. I came out and pushed back. Look, nobody is doubting that you do research. But when you do research and you cite it, then you ought to give all of us the chance to read it so we can critique it. You can do your independent research, that's fine. As long as you cite it, we don't care about it. I got plenty of researches I've done. If I don't cite it, nobody knows that I'm doing it. They don't care to think about it. But when you cite a research on a public platform, then allow us to consume that research so we all can be able to actively participate in it.
Let me ask you this, before you go. Let me ask you this. If he's doing his research, is that research, it's not something that to inform his knowledge in terms of engagement?
It is, but here's the point now, here's where we get in academic problems. If you are using that as a tool to gauge something, and you engage with other people on an intellectual level, and you say my research, and you don't provide that, then that is not fair academically or intellectually to the rest of the people on the platform.
But let me say something else.
Hold on one second. If I come here and say, according to my research, MCSS has been underperforming, then what I need to tell people is that I've looked at WIEC data, I've looked at Ministry of Education data, so people can know what data I'm referencing to make that point so that they can be able to either check me or agree with me. But I just can't come and say my research I'm doing shows this, and I don't get anybody access to be able to review that or even comment on it. If I'm doing that to inform me, then I don't have to say the research I'm doing. Okay. That is just academic.
But let me ask you this. I'm just asking you questions strictly to learn. Now, if Mali has come out and didn't make reference to the research that he has done and just throw it out there without giving source, will we not accuse him of where you get your number from?
Well, yeah, then again, that's the same thing, because when you throw a number, then talking about research, right? It's the same reason yesterday I asked him what was his sample size, right? Because when you try to throw all these things, there's someone I want to be able to say, let's consume it. Because you bring in food for us. Let all of us eat it and let all of us be nourished by it. But you just can't say, my research shows this, my research shows that. And then someone else on here want to say, okay, let's see the research or reference us the research so we can look at it and say, oh, yes, you're right. So we can take that back. But look, beyond that, if you are actually doing the research and because the last time, again, like I said, on the same show, Mr. Mali said he didn't see issue about audit. He didn't see stuff about this. He was nitpicking. Now audit came in this one. Now education is a lip service. And if you're actually saying that your research shows that it's a lip service, then we would have at least gone back to the most recent speech the man made, add that to this speech today or yesterday, and then look at it in its totality. Because when you go back to the inaugural speech, he talks about education a little bit more in more detail than he did today. And he talked about the same thing about retooling our educational system to face today's challenges. And he talked about the investment that also build capacity in Liberia to compete in a globalized workplace and leverage technology for entrepreneurship. That was on education.
Okay.
So my point is, Mr. Mali has the right to say he doesn't agree with what was there. But I start having problems, Mr. Mali say research shows this, or his data shows this, then I want to be able to consume that information.
Okay.
I think Mr. Mali is viewing these two speeches, these two last speeches, from a lens, like I said again, that need to be default.
Okay. Mali's will come to you. Let me go to Mr. Jackson, and then we'll come to you for you to close it for us, please. And I have a few questions myself. Jackson, go ahead.
Well, I hope I'm not eating your time, but a few comments, I just wanted to I want to make for the speech.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, just to say hi to the to the panel.
Thank you.
Couple of things, that I heard from him, and the question I had was that does Becker have a policy advisor on the economics and also political advisor? And that led me to some of the things that he put in his speech today. One of those things had to do the Amos man, that he want to bring on board, which is a very good thing. And the issue I have was that what have he done, with implementation and enforcement of policy? If, for instance, let's take, for example, asset declaration. If you are bringing this man on board, it means that you have to empower him for him to be able to execute and implement policy. It's not just bringing him to give him a job, but empowering him so that he will have a function and he will be able, and to regulate, people, activities, in the house, and also, people, who fall within his, purview. And that was one of the things, I brought, I saw, that he needs to do, or else, the appointing of that, of the man will be useless to people, because what happened is he had no, empowerment, to function. He will just be there, to pay late service, to whosoever in the house. The other one, it has to do with, he's talking about cashless, economy. That is, bringing in digital, and, transaction. And the issue that I have with him was that did he go through any policy advisor, to see whether what he's saying makes sense, to people, or else it would be that the Iboma issue, that Georgia brought before. Because in a cashless society, you must have 3-4 things that work together. One of those things it had to do with, first, you must have electricity that will work 24/7, that everybody must enjoy. Not only in Monroe, but those who are in the rural area to be able to do transactions as well. 2, you must have an internet service. And I don't know whether, internet, go all over Monroe and also as well as the internet. I don't know whether they will be able to do that. The next thing is we have 2 currencies. Which of the currency are we going to do with that? Okay. At the same time, which of the bank going to regulate? Is it national bank, and who are all trained towards it? So when you put these things in, it sounds so good in the eyes of people. There are people back there that specialize into it, and they ask the question, how is he going to implement this policy? Okay. And there where I just have question, how is Becker going to implement this policy to make sure that people benefit from it when he talks about education? So let me just take my answer out the air, and maybe anybody can feed into it.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, Jackson.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Folks, Jackson will be the last caller. Mali, let's come to you and wrap it up. Please, let's just take about 1 or 2 minutes of your time here, and then we can move around the room to Mr.
Well, I just got some pieces of advice for us on this platform. I don't think this platform was intended for us to come here and put a show or showcase thing or put us on news or try to exercise on academic strength. I don't think that's what the platform is about. You see,
Mali.
I think I come in now. Give me a chance.
Okay.
I think the platform is about sharing ideas, sharing our experiences where we see fit. For instance, if I come up with something and I don't feel good about it, I don't know what I should challenge Pastor on that. I think I should provide the alternative, because there are people that are listening. The listener will draw a conclusion and say, oh, okay, I think I will go that direction here. But when we start to be a bit personal and petty on issues, then I've been taken aback. Then it's like the flavor and the essence of the platform is driven down the pits. If I'm doing a research and I come on this platform and say, well, from my research, the educational system, the direction it's going, we know the direction is going. All the things he said about educational system need to revert. I mean, it's going a downward spiral and all the kind of thing. He didn't provide research for all in his speech, but we know he's correct on that. All right. So if I come on this platform and say, look, the educational system, as far as I'm concerned, that line in the speech, it's a lip service, I'm entitled to that. So if you come up and you want to go the other way, go the other way, so it benefits the client, the listener, who will make their own informed judgment. But if you come in to say you attacking me or educating me, the listener, they have not benefited from nothing. So if I say it's a lip service, what have you got to offer? The listener, nothing. They take home nothing. And the issue of research, if I come on the platform and use the word research, it's like for you to ask me, oh, Male, can you provide me your source? I'll say, okay, meet me behind closed door. I'll give you my source. I'm not under obligation to get on the platform.
Mr. Male, I ask you.
I come in now.
Terry, Sissy, just a minute,
yeah,
please.
Sissy, you need to exercise tolerance.
Yeah, we are.
I did not come on this platform if I say, okay, the educational system will all do the problem. If I use the word research, okay, good. And you want to know, okay, Male, you just talk about research. Can you educate me? I will say, okay, we can meet behind closed door. I will give you my sources. I will direct you. But if Sissy want to project a perception on the farmer that I'm under obligation to say, except a call and say, oh, Mr. Male, you said this thing here. Can you equip me with the source? There and then I will do it.
Male, let me.
I want to take the platform from personalizing things to more general things that would benefit.
Can I come in, Male?
Let me get in now because I'm a last statement. Yes.
Yeah, but don't leave.
So, yes, I want to take the platform to a level where our listener will be able to benefit. So if I come out to say it's a lip service, and you come out to say, well, I don't see it that way, but I see this substance A, B, C, D, and that, the listener is going to benefit. But if you're using that as a yardstick to come and attack me, then what is the listener going to benefit from? Then it's like the whole thing is becoming like a child play. You see? Okay. So let me say advice, this. I just want to get out of that era there, the era of personal attack, and I'm making research. I have not published it. Nobody have read it. For me,
let me say this here to you.
For me, it will not not beneficiary to any of us on this platform.
All right, let me say this.
Yes.
Let me say this. First of all, I agree that personal attack does not belong on a platform. I think all of us are very careful how we express ourselves here. But I disagree with you that if I come on this platform and I start speaking about issue, let's just say engineering, because this is the only area that I know. Mm-hmm. And I come out here and I start telling you about different curve radius and things like that. And I come out and say, according to what I have done, I'm on an obligation. Once I said what I have done, because you haven't done that. And if you don't push back at me to say, Mr. Thor, you said, but we have not seen that. If you don't say that, you're not helping me. Because here's the thing here we all do here on this platform, as far as I'm concerned. We're all learning, every one of us. When we come to these public engagement, it is not that because we are experts. We might say one or two things. So I think the point Sissy making, why you might not agree with it, but I think for you to say, according to my research, which none of us have any, we have not seen it, and you're making that reference to strengthen your argument. This is the process now. In order for you to strengthen that argument, for me now to agree with you, because remember that this is a process of engagement. You have to convince me. And by you holding on to your research.
No, point of correction.
You're
no, point of correction. They said they not come on the platform to ask you, Mr. Male, what is your research?
But here,
no. You can speak.
You see, and you said you told
us. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute.
No, I'm on the floor speaking.
But you mischaracterizing the whole conversation. You can mischaracterize the conversation.
No, I'm just speaking. I don't say
no. I say you are mischaracterizing the conversation. You are not saying Sissy is here. All right, you can't speak for him. Sissy did not come on the platform. and say,
I'm
Jones,
speaking from what I heard
you
and
make
what I saw.
But then, Mali, why are you trying to speak for me too now? If you say Megan speak for me, then everyone speak for me too for now.
Let me finish.
Why
But I
again,
think
why again, let me talk.
folks, let's do this. This is the good thing about this platform. We're all a grounded into whatever position we're in. Nobody can dislodge us from those positions. We know ourselves. Nothing you, Mali, can say to me that would embarrass me or make me to feel bad. Nothing I can say to any of you that will make you to feel bad. And that's the good thing about this platform. So I think we're doing good. Let us continue to challenge one another, but with respect. Now, let me go on to the other troublemaker, Mr. So. Oh, did I say trouble? I mean, Mr. So. What's your closing? 2 seconds, please. I'm way out of time. 2 seconds.
Oh my God.
2 seconds, Mr. So.
Okay. Look, yeah, what I was saying. The reason, if you say nobody expert here, do not send a wrong signal to people here. Everybody here brought a unique conversation talking point here. And that's why you and myself can't get along. You're calling me troublemaker. Even George will not even agree with you here. Everybody here devote unique time to have this sort of national
So why you got to come here and trying to make peace and try to have the platform? You come here to come and attack me personally. Why are you attacking me personally?
Look, what you call attack? Okay, look, let's do it. So, I think the beauty of this network has shown itself from time.
That now Walter Carter calling you.
Carter, he needs to come from behind the black curtain. We're closing on now. So
that's so you know the player make you look at so now we have food here eating here and my daughter giving me food.
You're eating on the platform tonight?
No, that you see that play food my daughter gave me just so I can put
Cut on.
Yeah. So let's wrap it up. Look, like I said,
yeah, too much. But
cut on the line.
So.
Cut on the line or what?
Yeah, cut on the line. Cut why you can't come on? Bye. Got on my phone. Bye bye. CDZ.
Oh my God! Yeah. Let me just give you one. Let me test them. I want see I can push the sissy button a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I ain't got no more button. I finished selling everything.
I won't push my man button a little.
He said he got any more body or the body finish.
Malik, Mr. Joe feeling pushing off. No, but yeah. No, but on a serious note, man. I mean, look, the speech, part of the speech, the one I disagree with, that's the one I like to talk about.
You to disagree with my old man?
Look, let me tell you something. Mr. Liberal, progressive, the people that destroy. The people that destroy.
We can't really get a conversation after Keto. That's it. Calling on the other side now.
Around here. Will hold you, and when you're misleading public, will tell you misleading public until Unity Party.
All right. Okay.
We are saying 40 million.
Thank you.
Hold on.
Right now, I have to go to bed.
Let me get my people. Let me just give me 1 minute. When I help you out, I'll pay for the airtime.
He made a liberal. You confess it, Keto. You made me change. What? You pay for what?
President, we are administration left 40 million in the consolidated.
Okay.
44 million in the consolidated account.
Secondly, they would decide that.
No, secondly, why you didn't publish it? The other good part about the speech.
But we will trust CDC about Nimbo Benin. The simple as the one election.
Never on it. I will be something else to discuss in the next 6 months.
Okay.
Thank you. And that's it. The speech was not bad, but that's that contradicting part. Yeah.
Okay. Now, okay. Thank you.
Also, now, 2 minutes now, right?
No. They say you might.
These people, they know what to do.
Thank you, Carter.
So, here is my question.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Oh,
hello.
Yeah,
what are you doing on there?
Don't take too long. 2 seconds.
Just 1 minute. The only thing I just want to say, you might get my hard time. My old man and Mali. Oh. The old man is saying something that makes sense.
So Mali have become old man now.
No, let me come to my point. I call issue. The campaign message is still in the old man. If I was somebody like Badly Ome, the person that wrote that speech will be fired.
Look at it.
Who will take a fire for you? You have had your way and lost election. Who will take a fire for you?
Oh my goodness. Look, these people, yeah.
Go ahead. Tabata.
Oh, okay. No, I listen to me talking about 10,000 people will be trained in less than 4 months.
Uh-huh.
Are you kidding me? You think in the cabinet mention?
Oh.
And first of all,
Will you the CDC school to open? CDC open school, at least I want to.
You don't want to train them because you want to train people? You train people just because you want to train people.
Okay, thank you.
I wish I could get more time to at least to say stuff, but I'll call tomorrow. Thank you.
Call tomorrow. Thank you.
Let it matter. Use the Monapenal Young Blood Academy to train more people.
We're in trouble. Okay, so here is my closing argument. Look, I think all of us here, everybody doing great. Everybody have, and that's a tradition of this network. We intend not to leave no voice or voices behind. That include the analysts themselves. So I think we are in a serious business and we are having a national conversation. So we must always understand that there will be some sort of rough edges into this whole thing here. When we say something, when we see on the other side, please, liberal, do not get in your feelings. This is not an emotional something here. We're not talking about total. It is the Republic of Liberia. And I said here, I'm not going into it, but there were a lot of good things the president said. But we also want to make sure, because Samson, please get.
You're talking about it, then you want me to sit down?
We're talking about what?
You're talking.
So you want? Do you think all of your viewers here will be in the call with you? Do you think they'll just want to hear good thing? That's not what I'm saying. Okay, let me get close one, because you are not a high old man too. So all of you, I don't understand. We're having a serious problem in our country. So yeah is the thing. For some of us, all of us been arguing on this platform here: security, education, agriculture, blah blah blah. Why are we talking about the post services to this thing here? Is because the amount, the investment national government is making, the budget. You can't have the police making chicken change and then you say you expect good policing. You can't talk about quality education and you do not want to invest into it. President George Weah, during his 54th national legislature to the assembly, how much he say he invested? 38 point something $9 million US in whatever so-called YF this and that, which was not even which didn't go before the legislature and all of that. And still we have the problem. We don't know who are the direct beneficiary. So what I'm saying, experienced veteran like President Boyka, who stays in government, the very first thing I want to take a deep breath when he talking about agriculture, education, not all of the details, but you give a hint for people to know, to say, okay, in order we've been talking about education, quality education, we're going to invest this X amount, the projected amount that includes teachers training and blah blah blah. Then they will give me a deep breath. But when you say you know, when you put under that figure and then later on commission, one of commission people, then it gives room for people to look at the back rules and where you're going. But for you, liberal, it is unfortunate just how you are politically displayed. Liberty Party rejected you. You managed to cross over to Unity Party. They don't know you. You not know them, according to your own words. And you're forcing yourself on these people. You come here to educate the people. Then you turn this network to some sort of total republic, and then you dance. And you think all of us going to dance with you. Only Terry can dance with you, because CCC not trust you. Amos George not trust you. Need not to measure my friend Male June. And for Male, for you to I'm finding it very difficult now to work with you, because sometimes this your socialist government thing you want to carry to Liberia with capital punishment. It looks like it's all in your head too. So you want to introduce different things. So with that other lip service, I not agree with you on that one today. Yeah, you on your own. You and liberal can talk that one there. But I respect your view. So, Liberal, you need to stop sanctioning people when they want to say things because they don't say it the way you want to say it. Shame
I'm
on you.
blocking you tomorrow.
The Liberal made a commitment here, and I won't hold him to it.
You see, he said he threatened all. Who are you blocking? Let our audience hear it. Who are you blocking?
The Liberal made a commitment here. Sometime by Liberal, you remember when I talked about public works, and I said in my district, one of my uncles used to work for public work, they will brush the roads and everything because they had those substations.
Right.
He said if they come by with that, you will raise your hand to go to the Liberia and go help. And President Bouaka talked about that. Talk about the restoration of the road maintenance stations. I said, so they put a ball behind your court, Liberal.
No, his son still 10 years old.
Good. Sese, I bet Liberal to say he living from here. I bet him.
Okay, let's go to Mr. George. Mr. George, what's your closing?
Look, let me say, I think Mr. Who called? He talked about something. But Bouaka did mention his about the ombudsman. He said they would give him all the support needed to function. Ombudsman. He said in his speech that they will give this person the necessary power needed to function. He will not be somewhere just sitting down there. And he talked about managing the digital currencies. We're already doing it. It just will improve on it. You got orange money.
Yeah.
People now all over Liberia.
Mobile money.
Mobile money, they using it. So it just to improve on it now. Now he asked, who is going to manage it? The Bank of Liberia is the one that regulates all commercial banks activity in the country. So the Bank of Liberia going to take the responsibility of the money. They're lessening all the money of the local banks, the money they certify them. So
you still OSA? The BO, you still OSA today?
The institution is still there. So when he made mention, I think it just to improve on the system because he was seeing this people handing too much cash. They take all the money, all the things get older quick, but mobile money help and all around Africa. It's almost all around Africa. People are using mobile money, even the women in the market and all that. Some countries go to the women in the market are all using mobile money. So I think he was just somebody to improve on it. So those are some of the concerns you were talking about. But all about Bouaka, I will go back again. And one of the things I have not listened to the entire speech, but one of the things he said, the emphasis on diaspora Liberians, he stressed that these people are there for us when the sun shines, when it rains, I just paraphrasing, they are there for us. So there's no need to say that they don't have a role. They will have a vital role now to play. And he even went further to say he's going to make sure to introduce an annual conference of diaspora so they can see how these people in the diaspora can play a major role. He talked about election, but then participating in the election. So
that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. And he also commended the outgoing president, the former President George Weah, for passing this bill on the diaspora Liberian issue, citizen issue. He commended him for that. So I think for me, I have not listened to the entire speech, but some of the things that he emphasized, I will commend him for it. Did he say everything I wanted to hear? No. But for now, I will give him the credit, and I will say again, let's 6 months from now see how this government, then I will be in a better position now to start quickly then. But right now, I'm waiting to see it. And the last thing I wanted to talk, I heard the Minister of Commerce, the Minister designated the auditor from Commerce. And he said some things, very brilliant idea that if he's confirmed, he will be coming our way, talking about digitizing the commerce area, meaning the area to be digitized. And one thing President Bouaka stressed again, it was this ID card business. He said that they're going to fund the election commission and try to overhaul and try to make sure that every citizen have an ID card. So for me, on the overall, I think the speech was okay, and we look forward to see what the country will move.
Thank you. Let's go to Terry. Terry, take us home.
Yeah, I know it was a clash of the Titans night to night, and at least the audience. I'm not seeing
Nobody must say that clash, Terry.
Well, not you directly, but
I'm the only Titan here.
All right, I got it. But yeah, so Walker did what he had to do. In myself, I was expecting him to make mention of the war and economics crime court, but he saw it fit. It's like most people say, you can be under the president and you tell them to the arm stink. So, he went into the lion's den, and I don't really expect him to say, XYZ, even though it was going to be profound if he had said that too. But I was really looking up to see if he would have said that, but he decided to play it down. But I've already said it in his inaugural speech. So we will be hoping to see how he craft that bill that will do the feasibility study to look up into the War and Economic Crime Court. But however, I just want to say to Mr. Mali that it is a good thing to, in as much as you don't want a certain person, you don't like them, but it's a good thing to always be transparent. All right? It says a lot about you when you are transparent. Like for me, on the show, I don't just castigate President Weah all the time.
What do you mean by transparent?
Transparent? It means that what you see is what you stock. But you see something, you see red, then you say it's green. Then you're not transparent. It's almost like that story about the animal, So you see red, then you say no, it's green. Okay. So you're looking at the man have spoken on the issue, but you're saying that it's a lip service. So in my mind, what are the yardsticks you're using to draw your analysis to prove to us that this is a lip service? Until you can see the man fail. Like what Pajor said, when he fails in providing all of what he has said, then we will come back on the show and you will beat us. We ourselves will be running away from you. But until then, you are not in a position to make that judgment and determination that he does not mean what he's saying.
Terry.
So
you hold it by joy witness, you sure?
Well,
yeah. Well, Malice, we will fight against Malice, we will fight against Terry, we will fight against the liberal on this level.
Oh God. You see, on a platform when you call names, I mean, you have the right to address the issue. Terry just says something when you hit somebody. I just want to make one thing clear to Terry tonight. I don't hate Joseph Boakai. I don't even hate people. No. That feelings. I don't play into feelings. No, I play into analysis. So what I'm telling you, I don't hate Joseph Boakai. Yeah, I don't hate Joseph Boakai. I don't hear anything about him. From my own perception, how I see things and how I put it. Not because everybody agree with it, and not because everybody agree with it, and therefore
the message take it back.
It was a lip service.
I take it back. Okay.
All right.
A particular phrase.
Thank you, Mali.
Statement. Yeah, I don't hate Joseph Boakai. I don't want to operate that.
But who's the Muslim imam here?
Who you are calling Imaya? They were not here.
You don't know why you're pretending. Okay. Sister did not come here and you say you're pretending or what?
Oh, because you got beer?
No, the platform here. The platform here, we don't come and pretend. Not face the fact.
Mr. So,
because
say he was a imam, he dressed in a imam, we all saw it. So why are we pretending?
The man, I just saw a letter from Zazakawa. He said defy him to go and see whether he can contest against him.
We're having our meetings also. They can't do also.
Sese had not come out to cancel that title yet. So until then, I will hold
that title. In fact, I'm trying to be chief zone now.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Where you go? Now where you going now?
But look, on a serious note, you know, why it is, because I listened to the caller that came in. I'm listening to, Mr. So talk about, at least the president should attach some financial, some amount to it to show the seriousness, which I agree with, makes some sense. Some of the things that that I'm going to be looking at is the president lay out a legislative agenda. I'm going to be looking to see how quickly and how many of those pass. That's going to tell us his strength in negotiating.
Right, cutting deals.
Because especially in the Senate, his thumbprint is all over the pro temp. He brought in the pro temp that's undeniable. So we'll see how those bills, whether they get stuck in committee, because some of them you talked about have been stuck in committee. How fast he can shake that juggernaut to get some other things out. For me, would be where I'll be judging and say, you listed all of these, how many of those have passed? How fast did they pass? And one last thing that I was not happy about, but again, there's a lot of Liberians happy about it, so it's not about me. But on this issue of Mama Stop, once a Liberian, always a Liberian, that dual citizenship law, has it been implemented? Does it work for us? He can be highlighting us as diaspora Liberians that contribute to the nation, while also promoting this law that made us second-class citizens in our own country. And then when you find out that they say the two speakers that they put out when they be speaker, both of them were U.S. citizens, then they go davla. So we have to, for me, I want to hold some of those people, I want to hold him accountable to some of those things. But my daughter here learning ABC right now, she step in the whole school, so let me get off.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Mr. Joyce, Sister
More Joy, what you wanted to tell me?
Mr. Male.
No, I just want to. Did you see the Deacon picture?
Good night. Good night.
Ooh,
because
Deacon
no,
who?
the last time I said the Deacon.
Deacon Male.
Is he will never die church or what?
I don't know. No, did you see it?
Without being a part Joyce.
Sending a dream man hack the man.
Wait.
Sending a dream man hack the man. What's up?
Let's go to Tete trend. They
No,
did do research on the Deacon picture.
I saw the yes. I saw the yes. I posted.
Listen.
Yes, I posted.
But that's why I made reference. I made reference to where the picture was posted.
Yes, I posted.
Wow. I made reference to where the picture was posted.
Good night, folks. Okay. Mr. George, good night. Again, folks, Samson to Labra Burrito. Having fun here. We have a beautiful show tonight. Thank you very much for all of you. To all of you, those of you that have been texting, thank you for your connection tonight. We really appreciate it. And we'll be back tomorrow on the same time, same place. Please join us there. And again, I will say good night. A wonderful evening. Thank you very much. And I'll say good night to all of you. Good night, folks.